Hi everyone. I've been thinking storytelling is an extremely powerful pedagogical tool. We have constantly associated storytelling with children, small children, kindy classes, maybe early primary, and that's it. We've never after that ever thought about storytelling. We actually believe that once children can read, then you don't need to tell them any stories. Or storytelling becomes passe, it's over. That's not true. I've been thinking about this when storytelling was picked up by the corporates as a skill, by people who were in coaching and mentoring and people who were talking about public speaking and meetings in which you hold attention and social stories. Adults were pursuing storytelling. And I thought to myself, what's wrong with us? We need to be doing this in schools and we need to be doing it to our advantage to make sure that our children learn better, and we use the magic of storytelling to make sure that learning is enjoyable and make sure that children retain what they learn and children are able to have fun in class. Why aren't we doing it? So, I am going to do a workshop with you on the 17th of January. Let me talk to you a little about storytelling. From time immemorial, whether you look at Aesop, you look at Sherazad and the Arabian Nights, or you look at Homer, you look at the Greek myths or the Roman myths, you look at our Indian epics of Mahabharata or Ramayana, they are all stories. Similarly, you will find them in Africa and in China and in the Far East, and you will find them everywhere. Stories that were supposed to talk about history of the tribe, it was supposed to talk about the values of that particular community, it was the moral compass of the people. They explained nature that they did not understand at that time, all with stories, and they found meaning in life because of stories. And then it was passed down from word of mouth in such a way that it sharpened their memories. And then it was taken up by people who painted, and the arts and the performances where they used their imagination to flesh out characters that they had never ever seen before. The magic of storytelling struck me as so very powerful. And I said, we have to do this in school. The most natural places we are talking about is at the bottom, which is the lifeblood of kindergarten and of our primary classes, and that needs no convincing. But I want to show you how to make those stories magical, so that it's not a drab storytelling session, but it actually allows the children to use their imagination. It stimulates their curiosity. After the story, or even as you are telling the story, you allow them to do a bit of critical thinking. You allow them to make moral choices, and you will be surprised at how well they respond with their natural tendency to choose what is honest and what is good. So, I think there's a huge amount, we all know there's a huge amount of value in the lower part of school as far as storytelling is concerned, but we've never looked at middle school, for example, or upper primary. We've never looked at stories for subjects. We've always associated stories with English, because the English textbooks have stories, and you're looking at stories for vocabulary and for theme and plot and conflict and character development and what have you, life links and vocabulary, and you've got a lot of stuff happening with stories. So English is delivered through stories. In fact, I tell people in middle school, you need to start going slower on the stories in your textbooks and start doing the bigger skills like argument and reporting and discussion and persuasion and things like that. But in middle school, if you move away from the comprehension and analysis of stories in the English textbook, you have all the subjects. So you've got science, you've got maths, you've got history, you've got geography, and in those subjects are sitting some of the most difficult concepts. So whether you take gravity, whether you take air pressure, you take pulleys and gears, you take ocean currents. So you can think of really complicated concepts going right up to high school, and you will find that you are struggling to explain those in a way in which children retain what you said or even or have even understood. Take maths for example. The stories that can convey themes and ideas in maths, whether you take fractions or ratio proportion or any of those concepts and higher concepts, is amazing when you use stories. The idea is immediately transferred because it's a story, right? It takes care of the curiosity, it takes care of the understanding because you're talking at an extremely simple level where children meet life. So it's not hard at all. And then of course you can take it on to the lesson and do what you need to do with your subjects. But I'm telling you, initially you can do a huge number of lessons with stories, and that's something that I want to show you. If you look at skills, there are a huge number of skills that can be integrated into the story time. So one is of course the most obvious one is language and English and culture and stuff like that. But you will also be able to bring in art and drama and math and science and everything together whenever you come to a story. So if you have a story, for example, like the story of someone who has a sling and two pots on either side. Now that is a story that will lend itself to a lot of science. The science of balance and center of gravity and all of that can be explored through that story. But if you think of it as just a story and you make the mistake of thinking of it as a baby story, then what happens is you miss that entire opportunity to go and help yourself to the magic of science that is sitting there in a very simple way, so that it becomes a launching pad for concepts that are even more complicated, which the child can then go and digitally pursue. So subject teachers, this is an opportunity for you to look at how you can change your pedagogy quickly. Stories need to be edited, they need to be shortened, they need to be added to, they need to be changed a little bit so that it fits in your time frame. So if there's a story, you don't tell it exactly as it is, you don't just read it out in class. That would be a boring way. How do you deliver a story in order to get children excited about maths? How would I do, for example, pulleys and gears with the myth of Sisyphus? You might want to question and ask how to do this, and we can explore that together. So do come to that workshop. Once they get into senior school, you are looking at presentations, you are looking at public speaking, you are looking at competitive exams where there is group discussions, where there are interviews, or in all of which a thread of the storyline is going to create curiosity in the person listening and interest, and it humanizes you and it makes you just a tad vulnerable. That is extremely attractive to anyone listening to you. So there are massive benefits in storytelling that has never been explored till now. I mean, well, people have always told you how to tell stories, mostly for the primary market. But I doubt very many people have done this kind of rigorous storytelling that might be extremely useful for middle and high school teachers. The primary teachers, of course, must come because it's their lifeline, and there will be a huge number of strategies that you will pick up when I talk to you about storytelling, no matter what grade I am talking about. There's always an opportunity to adapt. So guys, it's 17th of January, but do register when I put this out, and make sure you come in and learn a very new skill that I want to put out in the market, mainly because everyone is talking about AI, everyone is talking about how it's going to dehumanize classrooms, how children are cut pasting and the excesses and the problems. This is one way to kind of get back that magic, the natural, the spontaneous magic that existed for times immemorial. It's universal, and therefore it cannot go wrong. It will temper some of the anxiety that we feel when we speak about AI and its potential to probably destroy a lot of wonderful things that we value. So I'll see you then. There is a number that's flashing there that you might want to call if you have any doubts, and the Mindsprings team is an amazing team. They will always help you. We've got courses on our website, on Udemy. Please go and look them up because they are invaluable, and that will also help you to become a better teacher. So I'll see you soon.